This method works 100% of the time. You just haven't realized it yet. The truth about discipline: most people think discipline is about willpower. Like some people just wake up one day and decide, I'm going to be the most disciplined person on earth, and boom, they never hit snooze again, never touch junk food, never procrastinate. Yeah, that's a fantasy. Here's the truth: discipline has nothing to do with willpower. It has everything to do with survival. Let me prove it to you. Have you ever met someone who tried to quit smoking 100 times but always went back? Then one day, they get hit with a terrifying reality. Maybe a doctor tells them, if you don't quit now, you won't make it to 50. Suddenly, they're throwing their cigarettes away. No hesitation. No, just one more. This is what I call the fire under you concept. Discipline isn't about being strong. It's about being scared enough to change. People don't stay disciplined because they love the grind. They stay disciplined because the alternative is worse. Think about it: why do people pay their bills on time? Not because they love sending money away, but because they don't want their lights turned off. Why do people work jobs they hate? Not because they're passionate about Excel spreadsheets, but because they need to survive. This is called loss aversion. Humans are wired to avoid pain more than they chase pleasure. It's why someone who struggles to wake up early for a workout will have zero problem waking up at 5 a.m. to catch a flight for vacation. The pleasure of a six-pack? Meh, maybe someday. The pain of looking in the mirror and hating what you see? Immediate. The pleasure of financial freedom? Sounds nice. The pain of being broke and drowning in debt? Terrifying. You don't need motivation. You don't need willpower. You need something that scares you more than your excuses. And here's the wild part: if you don't create the fire under you, life will do it for you. So the real question is: are you going to wait for the disaster to happen, or are you going to start acting like it's already here? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Stay with me. You'll never look at discipline the same way again. Let me tell you a story. There's this guy, let's call him Mike. Mike loves his food. Cakes, sodas, burgers, you name it. He's been warned 100 times, your blood sugar is too high. You need to cut down on sugar. Diabetes is serious. But Mike? He's fine. He feels fine. So he keeps eating whatever he wants. Then, one day, he visits a friend in the hospital. This friend is diabetic too, but unlike Mike, his condition has gotten worse. Mike walks in, and the first thing he notices: his friend is missing a leg. Right there, in front of him, is the price of ignoring every warning. And suddenly, everything changes. Now Mike sees what could happen. It's no longer just numbers on a blood test. It's real. And it's terrifying. From that day forward, he becomes a whole different person. No more sodas. No more junk food. He's checking his blood sugar, reading every food label, following his doctor's advice like his life depends on it. Because now, it does. The crazy part? He could have done this years ago. The warnings were always there. The health risks never changed. But back then, the pain wasn't real enough. And that's exactly why most people struggle with discipline. It's not that disciplined people are stronger. It's not that they have more willpower. It's that they have felt the pain of failure, or at least, they've imagined it so clearly that it feels real. Think about it: why do students cram the night before an exam? Because they see the failure in their heads, the bad grade, the disappointed parents, the stress of repeating the class. And suddenly, studying isn't optional. It's survival. Why do people start working out only after a bad health crisis? Because the pain of potential illness suddenly outweighs the discomfort of exercise. Pain is the most powerful motivator on the planet. But here's the thing: you don't have to wait for disaster to happen. Mike could have changed before losing a friend's limb woke him up. You don't have to wait until your life is falling apart to start fixing it. The key is simple: feel the pain before it happens. If you can mentally step into the future, see the consequences, feel the regret, imagine the worst-case scenario, then you can trick your brain into discipline before reality forces it on you. So let me ask you this: what's the pain you're ignoring right now? And are you going to wait until it's too late to do something about it? Let's talk about a different kind of pain, the one that doesn't hit you overnight but slowly creeps in over the years. Picture this. You're 22, fresh out of college. You tell yourself, "I've got time. You'll figure things out. You'll start saving eventually. You'll hit the gym one day. You'll read books, learn skills, work on that business idea, but not today." Fast forward. You're 25. The real world is harder than you thought, but you're still getting by. You see some of your friends grinding, taking risks, building something, but you're comfortable. "I still have time." Fast forward again. You're 35. One day, you're scrolling through Instagram, and you see an old friend from college. The same guy who was in the same broke situation as you. But now, he's standing in front of his new house, keys in hand, smiling with his perfect little family. And suddenly, it feels like a truck just ran over your soul. Because while you were figuring things out, he was working. While you were binge-watching Netflix, he was grinding. While you were making excuses, he was making progress. And now, the gap between you is massive. You check your bank account, it's looking like a bad joke. You look around your tiny, overpriced apartment, the same one you swore you'd leave years ago. Your car. Still the same unreliable junk that breaks down when the weather changes. And worst of all, you realize, you did this to yourself. Not because you weren't smart. Not because life was unfair. But because you waited. You assumed time would take care of things. Now, reality is here, and it hurts. Regret is one of the most painful things a person can experience. And the worst part? You can't undo it. You can't go rewind the hands of the clock and force your younger self to work harder, save more, learn faster. The time is gone. That's when discipline stops being optional. You stop hitting snooze because you can't afford to waste another second. You stop spending money like an idiot because you know what broke feels like. You stop wasting time because you finally understand that no one is coming to save you. Here's the truth: you don't want to wake up one day and realize you lost a decade to procrastination. Because let me tell you, when that regret hits, it doesn't just sting. It burns. It makes you sick. It makes you question everything. And if you think it's bad at 35, imagine feeling it at 50. So let me ask you, what do you not want to regret 10 years from now? Because whatever that is, that's your fire. And if you don't start acting on it now, one day, it'll be too late. How do you create your own fire before it's too late? So, you're watching this and thinking, okay, I get it. I need discipline. But what if my life is fine right now? What if I don't have some earth-shattering failure pushing me? Simple. You create your own fire. Step 1, find your pain point. Let's be honest. You already know what you're avoiding. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's that sinking feeling you get when you realize you've made zero progress in the last 5 years. Everyone has a pain point, it's just easier to ignore it. But let's try something. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what's the one thing in my life that, if I don't fix it now, will completely ruin my future? If I keep going the way I'm going, what's the worst-case scenario? What's the disaster I'm slowly walking toward? Got your answer? Good. That's your fire. Maybe right now, that fire is small, just a little discomfort, a little guilt, a little ugh, I really should change this. But if you don't act, that fire will grow. And one day, it'll be an uncontrollable wildfire burning everything in its path. Step 2, the 10-year regret test. Imagine it's 10 years from now. You wake up, and nothing has changed. You're the same person. Same habits. Same struggles. Same excuses. You look in the mirror, and it hits you. You wasted another decade. Now, you grab your phone and start scrolling through social media. And there they are, your old classmates, your coworkers, that one friend who was in the exact same spot as you a decade ago. Except now, they've made it. They have the dream house. The fit, strong body. The thriving career. The life you always thought you'd have. And you? You're stuck. Watching. Regretting. Wishing you had started sooner. That's when it sinks in, it could have been me. It should have been me. But I was too lazy, too scared, too distracted to do anything about it. Step 3, turn your fire into fuel. You don't work out because you feel like it. You work out because you refuse to wake up at 50, overweight and in pain, wishing you had taken care of yourself. You don't grind on your skills because it's easy. You do it because you refuse to be the person watching everyone else succeed while you're stuck in the same cycle. Fear is the most powerful motivator. So use it. Because here's what's going to happen, you'll either feel the temporary pain of discipline today, or the permanent pain of regret tomorrow. Your choice. Comfort is your greatest enemy. Have you ever noticed that the people who grew up poor and had to fight for every opportunity, often become the most successful? While the ones who grew up with everything handed to them, usually stay average. That's because pressure creates diamonds. But comfort creates decay. The moment you stop fighting, life starts taking things away from you. That business? Gone. That body you used to take care of? Gone. That relationship you thought would last forever? Gone. Comfort is the trap that kills ambition. Comfort whispers, relax, you deserve it. Comfort tells you, you'll start tomorrow. Comfort makes you forget what it took to get here. Until suddenly, you're forced to wake up. Maybe it's a health condition. Maybe it's a financial crisis. Maybe it's seeing someone else live the life you could have had. And by then, it's often too late. So what's the solution? Never let yourself get too comfortable. If you're rich, act like you're still building. If you're fit, train like you're still out of shape. If your relationship is solid, treat your partner like you're still trying to win them over. Because the second you think, I've made it, I can relax, you've already started losing. Now, ask yourself, do you want to be inspired by your future self? Or do you want to feel sick with regret? Because every single choice you make right now is shaping that future. How do you stay disciplined and actually stick to it for life? 1. Keep your fire visible. You need reminders. Constant ones. Want to lose weight? Tape a picture of your ideal body on your fridge. Want to be financially free? Set your bank account wallpaper to a big fat $0 as a wake-up call. Want to stop procrastinating? Write, "You'll regret this later," on a sticky note and slap it on your laptop. If you don't see your why every single day, you'll forget it. And when you forget, you slip back into comfort. 2. Surround yourself with the right people. Want to be successful? Stop hanging out with comfortable people. Find friends who challenge you. The ones who make you feel guilty for your excuses. The guy who wakes up at 5 a.m. to work out. Be around him. The friend who's always learning new skills. Stay close. The person who's making moves while others are making excuses. That's your circle. If your environment doesn't push you forward, it's pulling you backward. 3. Get comfortable. Being uncomfortable. Waking up early will always suck. Eating healthy will never be as fun as eating junk. Working on your goals will always feel like effort. But if you embrace it, if you learn to love the grind, nothing can stop you. You already know what you need to do. You already know the cost of staying the same. So what's it gonna be? Comment below if this video lit a fire under you. Don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe so more people can break free from comfort and start taking action. Let's build a community of people who refuse to settle. See you in the next one.